Guys, welcome to a new video, and today I am going to follow another 1940s beauty guide, and this time it is actually one that was made for women in the army. It's from the United States. It was shot in 1943 and it kind of goes over the advice and regulations that there are for women and the army at the time. So we're gonna watch the video together and I'm gonna follow the tips, see what we end up with. I think I'm just gonna take my glasses off first. Let's hope I can still see the video, but should be okay here.
Never use makeup as a mask. Use it to bring out, not to hide the natural freshness of your skin, and use it conservatively. Makeup goes on smoother, looks more natural with a foundation cream or liquid. It provides a lasting makeup and protects your skin against wind and sun.
The foundation referred to here would have probably been something similar to a vanishing cream. Well, it was basically a day cream that left a little bit of a sheen on the skin, a little bit of a pearly finish almost, but it was mostly meant for the powder to stick to because most of the color in this time period came from the powder. I do believe tinted creams, foundations were available, but I'm pretty sure that the just clear vanishing creams were more popular. Please correct me if I'm wrong here. Also, judging by how much he applies, that definitely is a product that's very different from our modern day foundations. So I don't have access to any foundation creams or vanishing creams or anything of the sort. There are still some being made, I'm pretty sure, but it's not something that you just, go out and buy in your local drugstore. So instead I'm going to apply just my regular moisturizer. It's not the right finish again. The vanishing cream probably would have had a little bit more of a matte finish. We need something for the next steps to stick onto, so just gonna go over with that.
The wrong use of rouge can make a woman look hard or clownish. Cream rouge is applied directly over the foundation. Dry rouge is used only after powdering. To be effective, rouge and powder should not be detectable. Never use too much rouge. You can always add more. Cream rouge should be applied with the fingers and blended until no line of demarcation is noticeable. Never use an elongated field of rouge on the oblong face. Always use a circle. Never use a circle on the round or square face. Use an elongated field to create the illusion of length. When in doubt for placement of rouge, smile and place it on the highest point of the cheek.
Alright, so since I have a round or square face, I need to go for an elongated shape of rouge. Now, I don't have a cream blusher, but of course for the same purpose you can always use a lipstick, so that's what I'm going to do here. I have a red, and I'm just going to apply that in an elongated shape, going down, making sure to really blend it in. Okay, that may be a little bit too much, but that also may just be my skin going red from the touch, so I'm not actually sure how much I just applied. Oh yeah. Oh, that's quite nice actually. Doesn't look too bad at all. I'm a little bit tempted to apply more, but then again, he did say that it needs to be undetectable, so maybe just a tiny little bit. Let's just do a tiny bit more. Next step.
One should always choose a powder that gives warmth and brightness to the skin. In powdering, start at a receding point, such as under the eyes, hollow cheeks, or receding chin. Never powder a large nose first. It will become a highlight.
As I mentioned, the color of, kind of base makeup would have come from the powder. They did really emphasize, choosing the right color. I have two colored powders available to me right here. So I have this banana powder and I have this Benefit Professional, which also comes out tinted. I'm worried the banana powder might be a little bit too... Woo! Bit too much. That's what I was gonna say. I'm not entirely sure it's the right color for me. It is a warm color though. You know what? Let's just go for it. Okay, so he does apply a lot of it. A lot, and he starts at a receding point. But they didn't really show what he does afterwards. So I'm assuming just keeps going, probably. And also what he said about not powdering a big nose first, because it might become a highlight, just sounds very similar to, what we call baking nowadays. As far as I can tell, without my glasses on, it doesn't look too bad. It's actually quite okay. Maybe if I do a little bit more under the eyes, it will kind of help camouflage my dark circles a little bit. Let's move on to the next step, which is lipstick.
Follow the natural line of the lips. And don't use exotic lip shades. They're not chic, and they're certainly not GI. Bite gently on a piece of tissue to set the lips and remove excess lipstick. Lipstick smears on handkerchiefs and lipstick rims on cups are not appealing.
So you're supposed to follow the natural lip shape in a color that is not exotic. So I'm gonna just assume that that is red only and then blot it off. Sounds like something I can certainly do. And it's applied with a brush. So I'm just loading up my lip brush here. I'm gonna use the same color that I used for my cheeks, just so that I know that they both match. Okay, so then to blot this off with a tissue. All right, I must say so far, this actually looks really nice. Let's move on.
Don't tamper with the natural line of your eyebrows. Your eyebrows, as nature made them, give expression and character to your face and are functional. They protect your eyes from strong light and dust. These are actually the only articles necessary for good nail grooming, especially when you're in the Army. Talons are out when you wear a uniform, and so is exotic nail polish. If you use polish, see that it's conservative.
She's learned a lot. See how smoothly and skillfully her makeup is blended. She can be proud of that job. If you'll pardon the suggestion, a good brushing might be in order.
Okay, so we're moving on to hairstyles here. Now, I'm prepared. I've come prepared today. My hair is in pink curls, so I'm gonna take those down and then work with these ladies here and do whatever I am told to do according to 1943 GI regulations. Alright, so what did they say? A good brushing might be in order. Love me a good brush out, okay.
Gently, gently. I didn't say scalping. And if you're looking for a change of hairstyling to suit your facial conformation and GI regulations, there's the page boy.
Options.
The roll. The bun. The upsweep. the straight shingle, the curly shingle. If you wear your hair short, it should be cut and shaped often. Snip away the hangovers from the last permanent.
I think with my hair length and style, I can choose between the roll and the bun. And out of the two, I'd say the roll is a little bit more exciting.
The roll,
Looks quite complicated too, but you know what? Let's just try it. So I'm gonna separate out the front section. That's gonna make my front bit that she has going on. And then the rest looks like it's just quite simply rolled back and then kind of tucked. I'm gonna be honest here though, I kind of have no idea how to do this, so I'm just gonna try, see how far I get. For now, I'm just kind of rolling the hair back. Probably try and somehow tuck all of this up and away. Sorry, I keep forgetting to talk, but I still don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to somehow roll all of my hair up and pin it down. Alright, so I think we're there as far as the back goes. I'm sure it's not as neat as hers, but I think we have somewhat of a roll going on. So for the front, it looks like her hair has quite a bit of volume on top. So I'm gonna have to kind of mold my hair, I think. And then it kind of comes down into a curl that's kind of, it kind of comes back onto her forehead and then it swoops back and away from the face again. Yeah, quite similar to this actually. So let's pin that down and then I'm just gonna take this little tail and tuck that into the roll. Alright, so I think this is it, guys. I think this is my 1943 Army approved look. I have to say, even though this isn't what we consider perhaps Army appropriate nowadays, I think this would be, you know, sooner associated with like a fancy date look. I do think I actually look really nice and I'm very surprised. It is a very minimal look, obviously. I'm not wearing any eye makeup whatsoever. It's basically just powder and lipstick. Combined with the hairstyle and just in general, it's a very put together, kind of timeless, elegant look that I think would be flattering on nearly everyone. Considering they were offering a one-size-fits-all beauty routine here, I think it is not that bad actually. And I'm really quite happy with the way it turned out. I actually think I will wear this for the rest of the day today because yeah, I do think it actually looks really good. I think I'm gonna end the video here, guys. We have followed a 1940s beauty tutorial according to GI regulations from World War II. I really enjoyed doing this, so I hope you enjoyed watching as well. If you did, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for loads more beauty and lifestyle content. If you would like to support me through Patreon or my merch store, there'll be links in the description box below. Thank you so much for your support. There is another video here that you might also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you for watching and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye!